Thank you very much. There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. Get seated. Honorable Premier, honorable members, distinguished guests, let me take this opportunity and welcoming you, Honorable Premier, Judge President, MF Dikhodi, and honorable members, distinguished guests on the gallery, honorable members. I'm presiding this meeting for now until I hand over to the judge. As we all know that the meeting is called by the judge and will also explain the business of the day. Honorable members, the House will proceed to the election of the Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature in line with the provisions outlined in section 1111 of the Constitution. Without wasting time, let me take this opportunity and call upon the Honorable Judge President, Honorable Dikhodi, on the Mpumalanga Division of High Court of South Africa to preside over the election of the Speaker of the Legislature. Thank you.
Good morning, honorable members. I am not going to take off my mask. Age is not on my side, and I must therefore continue to be as careful as I can in order to be safe. And it gives me great pleasure as I am looking at you to see that you are strictly complying with the safety protocols. I need to explain the purpose of the sitting today. Section 111, subsection 1 of the Constitution provides that at the first sitting after its election, you can ignore this, or when necessary, to fill a vacancy, a provincial legislature must elect a speaker and a deputy speaker from among its members. Subsection 2 of the third section provides that a judge designated by the Chief Justice must preside over the election of a speaker. The speaker provides over the election of a deputy speaker. I, as the Judge President of the Division of the High Court, have been duly designated by the Chief Justice to preside over the election of the Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature due to a vacancy in the office of the Speaker. And by virtue of the powers vested in me, I have accordingly determined 10 hours today, the 2nd of March 2021, as the time and the date for the election of the Speaker. This sitting has therefore been convened to elect the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature as outlined in Section 111 of the Constitution. On 24 February 2021, I had the opportunity of swearing in the former Speaker, Honorable Member B.P. Shiva, as the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. I have therefore satisfied myself that there is indeed a vacancy in the office of the Speaker. In electing the Speaker, the process provided in the rules of procedure for the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of a provincial legislature, approved by the Chief Justice on the 1st April 2019 and published in the Government Gazette in terms of Item 9 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa will be followed. Copies of these rules I have been made to understand that they are on the member's desk and are also provided electronically. In order to be assisted in these proceedings, I have to announce that in line with Sub-Rule 1 of Rule 2 of the rules, I have designated the Acting Secretary to the Legislature Mr. H. Bangu as the returning officer, who in turn appointed Advocate Mdluli and Ms. E. Munisi as assistant returning officers as contemplated in Sub-Rule 2 of Rule 2 of the rules. In line with Sub-Rule 3 of Rule 2, they have taken an oath before me. I hereby request the returning officer to read the notice. Returning officer, may you please do that?
I shall now read the notice from the Office of the Judge President M.F. Likhodi, Mpumalanga Division of the High Court. Notice of the date and time of the sitting of the 6th Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. Election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, filling of vacancies. I, Malisela Francis Likhodi, the Judge President of the Mpumalanga Division of the High Court of South Africa, having been designated by the Chief Justice of the Republic of South Africa, Mogoeng, in terms of Section 111, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, to preside over the election of the Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. I determine the 2nd of March 2021 as the date upon which the sitting of the legislature shall take place, 10 o'clock in the morning as the time, and the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Chamber in Bombela as the place for the sitting. The sitting of the legislature shall deal with the following business: the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature in terms of Section 111, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Republic. In order to comply with the COVID-19 regulations and protocol, the legislature will make a determination regarding the persons that will attend the sitting physically in the legislature. Given under my hand at Mbombela on the 25th of February 2021, signed by Honorable Justice M.F. Likhodi, Judge President, Mpumalanga Division of the High Court.
Thank you. Just off my script, honorable members, in case you thought that I do not derive pleasure from issuing a notice like that one, you will be wrong to think that way, because I always look forward to come here and see your faces. And that is the beauty about separation of powers. We might have this separation of powers, but from time to time we will be obliged to work together for the purpose of ensuring that we have a strong government consisting of 3 arms of government. And for that, it's a great pleasure for me to come here and see these esteemed members of the House. Coming back to my script, as a reminder, note that the rules for the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Provincial Legislature, as approved by the Chief Justice, will be followed in these proceedings. The meeting will now proceed to the election of the Speaker. And before I call for nominations, I have to remind the honorable members that in terms of the Constitution, each nomination must be submitted on the prescribed form and duly seconded. Furthermore, I have to draw the attention of honorable members especially to item 4 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution, in terms of which there may be no debate. I will again revert to the returning officer to afford the returning officer to read the first order of the day. The returning officer shall read the first order of the day. Please do so.
Order number 1, election of the Speaker in terms of Section 111, subsection 1 of the Constitution.
Thank you. I just want to explain the process to be followed in electing the Speaker. And the election process is as follows. Firstly, Mr. Steve, why are you looking at me like that?
I'm listening, Judge, attentively.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much. Firstly, I will call for the nomination of candidates for election as Speaker for the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. Secondly, and by the way, Mr. Sidibe, don't think that I don't derive pleasure from you looking at me as you have been doing. I do. Secondly, I will call for a supporter of the nomination, since the nomination must be supported by at least 2 members in terms of the rules. Thirdly, I will ask if the nominated candidate accepts the nomination. The nomination must be submitted in the form prescribed by the rules and must be signed by the nominator, supporter, and nominated candidate. We need to see 3 signatures on that form. I will call for further nominations following the above process until all nominations are exhausted. If only one candidate is nominated, I will declare the candidate elected as the Speaker, as provided in item 5 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution. If more than one candidate is nominated, I will call for a vote by way of secret ballot, with each honorable member having 1 vote as provided in item 6 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution. After voting, the votes will be calculated or counted, and I will declare and announce the candidate who has received the majority of votes. We shall now proceed with the process of electing the Speaker in line with the process articulated above. And I now call for nomination of the first candidate for election as Speaker. Yes, Honorable Sidibe.
Yeah, thank you very much, Judge President. I just wanted to check whether, because I was checking with my chief whip and our emails, we have not received the resignation letters from the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. Are we not supposed to have that maybe written to us or read before we go to the process? Just to check.
Well, two things can happen, Honorable Member. I have seen it, and you can take a decision of whether you take my word or you don't take my word. If that was to happen, I will then accordingly ask the officials to assist me in how to make that available to you if it becomes necessary. But I am actually having it here. So you can take my word for it, or, as I said, you can decide otherwise. But remember, Mr. Sidibe, Honorable Member, I always know every one of you to care for the elders and senior members. And as I am one of them, I am sure you would not want to keep me for long in this house where there is no sufficient ventilation at the risk of me. Yes, you understand. But the point is that I do have that resignation letter.
Okay, thank you very much, Judge President. As a man of integrity that I've known for years, I take your word.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. It's most appreciated. I now call for the nomination of the first candidate for election as a Speaker. And what you need to do, you need to introduce yourself before you make the nomination. I see a hand up there, Honorable Member.
Thanks, Honorable President, Justice President. My name is Pete Mashilo. I hereby rise to nominate the name of Honorable Makosazana Masilela as the Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. Thank you, Judge President.
Thank you. I now call for a supporter for the nomination as indicated by Honorable Mshilo. Is there a supporter for the nomination? If there is, yes. Yes, Honorable Member. You want to be on record? Yes.
My name is Honorable Pat Ngomane. I support the nomination of Honorable Makosazane Masilela to be the Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I now call upon the nominated Honorable Member to indicate whether she accepts the nomination. Is that the, yes?
Thank you, Judge President. I accept the nomination. I, Makosazana Christine Masilela, I accept the nomination as the Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
Is that the honorable member from Mashishing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I am going to call for further nominations. And if there is any, the process indicated above will be followed. Any further nominations? I was just about to say, Honorable Member, I was just about to say that I am greatly indebted to the honorable members to adhere to what I have just said by virtue of my age and not wanting to keep me long in this house. But when you have your right is your right, and therefore you need to accept it. Any further nominations? There appears to be none. There are no further nominations. That would mean, can you come back closer again to assist me as to what process we have to, probably I need to declare the only nominated candidate. I am told that I need to read this document just to satisfy myself about the acceptance of the nomination. And I must just immediately say, when I was told that there is a vacancy, and it goes back to what Honorable Sidibe said, when I was told that there is a vacancy, I insisted that I want a proof that there is a vacancy. And that is why that letter of vacation of the office of the Speaker was handed over to me. It's simply because I did not want to leave things for chance, because shortcuts and wrong things, they've got their own way of catching up with people. So I'm going through this nomination and acceptance before I declare the nominated candidate as the Speaker. And I've satisfied myself that the nomination was done accordingly, and that the nominated candidate accepted the nomination, and I hereby declare Honorable Makosazana Masilela from Extension 6 Mashishing as the nominated, as the Speaker, the elected Speaker of the House, and therefore I'll call upon the Honorable Speaker to make a brief acceptance speech.
Uqala nibitwe ngibani la kune COVID so who called you? Sosifakela iCovid ngalo msini mas.
Okay. Okay. I know, Honorable Stevie, you're trying to save me in terms of time so that we can get out so that I should have enough ventilation outside. Yes, ma'am. Your acceptance speech, please.
Thank you, Judge President. I stand before this House with great humility as the Speaker of the 6th Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature that was ushered in democratically by the people of our beautiful province. Let me take this opportunity to thank and appreciate the work done by my predecessor, Mrs. B.P. Shiva, who ably led this institution to what it is today. As we pick up the baton, we commit to hit the ground running and take this legislature to even greater heights. As per our oath, we undertook to be loyal to the Constitution of the Republic and serve our people with honor, respect, dignity, and honesty. In this regard, this 6th legislature will continue its steadfast role to achieve its core mandate as the theater of oversight, public participation, and lawmaking. As the legislative arm of the state, we commit to act with greater determination to ensure an accountable, responsive, and caring government that shall realize its manifesto priorities to create jobs, end poverty, and grow South Africa. As these priorities face the additional socio-economic burden to defeat the coronavirus pandemic and save lives and livelihoods, we are confident that the end is in sight. In light of positive developments in the vaccination and distribution program, some of our immediate tasks will be to strengthen and restore confidence in our democratic institutions in the eyes of our people as we march towards the 2021 local government elections. This shall require some agency and commitment in the fight to dismantle the legacy of colonial apartheid and eradicate unemployment, poverty, and inequalities. In line with the Freedom Charter's injunction that, I open quote, the people shall govern, close quote, we commit this legislature to be an activist parliament and a reliable tool to meet the interests and aspirations of our people. We shall act to energize our programs and activities so that promises made to our people remain center stage. I therefore look forward to constructive and productive engagements and cooperation amongst all honorable members from all political parties. As presiding officers, we commit to execute our constitutional responsibility without fear or favor. In conclusion, let me take this opportunity to thank the African National Congress for the confidence shown in me to serve our people as Speaker. Further, thank honorable members for electing me in this position. I trust that together we shall respond to what history has bestowed unto us. I thank you.
Honorable member, do not return to that seat. It is no longer yours. You are going to return to this seat. But before you do so, I just want to congratulate you for your election as the Speaker of this important and honorable house. And I want to remind you about the oath which you have taken previously and which is still in existence. And I think it's because you heeded to that oath, to that call, with a distinction, and probably that is why you are where you are today. But remember, the role which you are going to play from today is that of an empire, a person who play by the rules. There will be a lot of things which will be happening in this house, and you will be the figure to control the proceedings in this house in accordance with the applicable rules. And when you do so with distinction, I suspect that your stay on this seat will be for many years to come. And as I call you now to take over, to proceed with the business of the day, please bear that in mind. I therefore call the Honorable Speaker to come forward to proceed with the remaining items of the day, today being the election of the acting speaker. Will you come forward, please?
The returning officer shall read the second order of the day.
Order number 2, election of the Deputy Speaker in terms of Section 111, subsection 1 of the Constitution.
Thank you. In electing the Deputy Speaker, the process provided in the rules of procedure for the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of a provincial legislature, the rules, approved by the Chief Justice on the 1st of April 2019 and published in the Government Gazette in terms of Item 9 of Part A of Schedule 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, will be followed. The election process is as follows. Firstly, I will call for the nomination of candidates for election as Deputy Speaker for the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. Secondly, I will call for a supporter of the nomination, since the nomination must be supported by at least 2 members in terms of the rules. Thirdly, I will ask if the nominated candidate accepts the nomination. The nomination must be submitted in the form prescribed by the rules and must be signed by the nominator, supporter, and the nominated candidate. I will call further nominations following the above processes until all nominations are exhausted. If only one candidate is nominated, I will declare the candidate elected as the Deputy Speaker as provided in Item 5 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution. If more than one candidate is nominated, I will call for a vote by a way of secret ballot, with each honorable member having 1 vote as provided in Item 6 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution. After voting, the votes will be calculated and I will declare and announce the candidate who has received the majority votes. We shall now proceed with the process of electing the Deputy Speaker in line with the process articulated above. And I now call for the nomination for the first candidate for election as Deputy Speaker. Honorable Shongwe.
I'm not available,
Please.
Honorable Shongwe.
Please introduce yourself before you make the nomination.
I'm not available, Honorable Shongwe. Please, please.
Thank you, Speaker. I, Blessing Tandi Shongwe, member of the Provincial Legislature of Mpumalanga, hereby nominate Honorable J.J. Skosana to be the Deputy Speaker of the Provincial Legislature of Mpumalanga. Thank you.
The name of J.J. Skosana is nominated. I call for the secondment. Yes, honorable member. Firstly, you must introduce yourself. You are noted, Honorable Makaringe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Makaringe Tutani Million. I rise to support the name of Honorable J.J. Skosana to be the Deputy Speaker of Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
I will now call for another nomination.
You can sit down, Makaring. We are done. Go and sit down.
Can I call
The
the
Chief Whip is coming.
nomination, Honorable Sidibe?
Huh?
Don't confuse the meeting. I'm calling for the nomination. If there is none from the honorable members, I will declare the elected candidate, Honorable J.J. Skosana.
Order.
What is the point of order?
Yeah, the point of order is that Honorable Makaringe raised the name, so there must be the supporter as per the guideline that we have raised. So we have not called for any seconder for the name. Huh? And
Honorable,
we have not called JJ to accept.
thank you, Honorable Sidibe. Honorable JJ Skosana, are you accepting the nomination?
Maybe I food. Ah, angeke ahlale. Wathanda ikhulu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I, James Kosana, I do accept the nomination. Thank you.
Yeah, long overdue, Shem. Yeah. At least
Thank you,
promotion.
Honorable Member. Is there any nomination? If there is no other nomination, I will declare the Honorable JJ Skosana as the newly elected Deputy Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. Thank you. I will now call the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable JJ Skosana, to make a brief acceptance speech.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, President Judge, honorable members. I'm humbled to stand before this House as the newly elected Deputy Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the newly elected Speaker of this House, Honorable MC Masilela, as we look forward to your exemplary leadership in the period ahead. Let me also take this opportunity to thank and appreciate the work done by my predecessor, Mr. P.V. Mkhatshwa, who executed this function this function with honor and integrity. As per our oath, we undertook to be loyal to the Constitution of the Republic and serve our people. This legislature shall remain true to its mandate, which is to provide oversight, public participation, and lawmaking. As we respond to the COVID-19 pandemic, all hands must be on deck through the work of committees and other programs to ensure government responds to the growing needs of our people during these depressed times. We are therefore enjoined as honorable members to act with more zeal and commitment so that the manifesto commitments made to grow South Africa together are indeed realized. I therefore look forward to constructive relationship with all honorable members. I commit to provide the necessary support to the Speaker of the House and execute my constitutional responsibility as presiding officer without fear or favor. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank my political party, the African National Congress, for the confidence shown in me to serve our people as Deputy Speaker. Further, I thank honorable members for electing me in this position. I thank you.
Thank you. The returning officer shall read the third order of the day.
Order number 3, remarks by leaders of political parties to congratulate the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker on their election.
I will now call upon the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters to take the stand and make his remarks in congratulating the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker on their election.
It's you must come.
Honorable members, I have called upon the Economic Freedom Fighters.
But we are the original freedom fighters.
Are you not following, sorry Speaker, because here the speaker's list said it's Weber, it's EFF. Sorry, it's what, that thing of them. That raises thing, VF plus. That's how the speaker's list is, unless there are changes, which we're not informed of.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sidibe. I thought you will say you are the official opposition. I must start with you. Honorable Weber, the platform is yours, the Freedom Front Plus. You are given 3 minutes to do that.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Leader of the Freedom Fighters is so correct. The Freedom Front Plus, they are the original freedom fighters. Madam Speaker, it is a great privilege to congratulate you on your election into this high office. I've known you for the past 2 years in the committees. You were always there. I always viewed you as an honest person, a hardworking person, and a religious person. I believe that you are capable to execute this high office with distinction, and I wish you well. In the same spirit, I want to congratulate Honorable Skosana for his election. He's a respectful man. We've been together for the past 2 years in the committees, and we had a wonderful relationship there. I undertake to respect you, Madam Speaker, on your high position and the position that you are going to execute. Kodwa ngaphezu kwaloko bayangihlebela ukuthi mawuthinta umfazi uthinta imbokotho ngizoyiphatha. We had a meeting on Sunday where we were told that the economic freedom fighters would put up a candidate, and I strongly supported that in a symbolic way to show that I'm not trying to make a joke. In a symbolic way, he wouldn't have been elected, but as the official opposition, my feeling was we must show that we are opposition. And that's the reason why we were called to be here. But, Madam Speaker, I was let into a secret. I was told by the honorable leader of the Democratic Alliance that that was only an excuse. And I stand here before you with great humility. I was told that we were misled. The real reason why we all were called here is that we would celebrate my birthday today. And it's, I thank you out of the deepest cause of my heart to showing this type of respect, to come all be here to celebrate my birthday today. I thank you with great humility. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Weber. We'll now proceed. I will call upon the Honorable Sithole, representing the Democratic Alliance. 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As the DA, it is of course a pleasure to stand here and congratulate you on your election as the Speaker of this House. I have worked with you on the social cluster since the beginning of this term, and I know your work. So in this case, as the DA, we can only say, for as long as the rules and orders of this House are implemented as they should, you can rest assured of the support from the DA. You're presiding over this House. You're not presiding over a faction of this House. You will be aware that all members sitting here were elected by the voters to come and represent them. And I think the role of the Speaker, as you would know, is to treat members as equal and fair as possible, because you are not presiding over your political party, you're presiding over the House to restore the dignity of this House and also to achieve the mandate to make this legislature a world class, as it is still written in our rules and orders. And I would also like to congratulate Honorable Skosana to be elected as the Deputy Speaker. I'm sure he will be a strong hand to support you, and we will be looking forward to working with both of you and the rest of the legislature. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Sithole. We'll now move to the economic freedom fighters. Honorable Sidibe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, the Church President, Khodi. Many here don't know where we come from, me and the judge. That's why all the time he's presiding. He will mention me and try to calm me to be in order because of what the rich history. Lord is one of the lawyers by then who saved me from a life sentence while still working with the Posamjapilo attorneys. for killing a white policeman, Weber. Happy birthday. Because that was during apartheid time, and we're fighting the brutal system of apartheid. So we have a special relationship, and it occupies a special place in my heart, Judge the Court. Now, Honorable Speaker, let me, on behalf of the EFF, congratulate your new responsibility. And assure you that the work of the legislature will continue as normal. And we want to also assure you that as long as you are impartial in discharging your duties, there will be no crisis or distraction and so forth, because we must coexist and listen to each other, especially as the legislature, because our role is to hold the executive accountable at all times and make sure that every spend is accounted for. Now, it is upon you to ensure that there's always a decorum in the House. And like my colleague from the DA has said, we must always play by the rule or by the book. Let's not be a partisan, political party partisan. Let's save the people of Mpumalanga. So we hope that in discharging your duties, like you said in your speech, I was listening you carefully, in a brief acceptance speech, that you said you discharge your duties honestly, fairly, and loyal. So hope it will be like that, because all we need is quality service delivery for the people of Mpumalanga. We need to better the life of our people. The high unemployment rate is affecting all of us, not ANC, not DA, not Freedom Front. All of us, because it's worrisome, and our youth are growing old in their homes without jobs. So we must coexist and work together to ensure that we put our province at a greater height and reduce poverty and the unemployment. But as I conclude, Honorable Speaker, one thing I want you to note all the time is that as the EFF will not tolerate any form of corruption, and will fight it everywhere, wherever it raises its ugly head. And as a speaker, we must be at the center of that, because many times communication will be between you and us for the other department. So we must not find ourselves taking side in this process. I was worried by the Auditor General's report, which was also mentioned in the Sunday newspaper article, I think City Press, of the 12 billion honorable premium, because we are here. All those things must be dealt with properly. It can't be that we have irregular, fruitless, and unauthorized expenditures, all these unwanted expenditures amounting to that amount, when our people don't have houses, don't have water, don't have anything, schools, etc.
Honorable
So,
Sidibe, round up your 3 minutes.
okay.
Now gone.
Yeah, so as I'm closing, also Deputy Speaker, we are congratulated JJ. I know you are hardworking, always in the meetings. Well, I know you too emotional sometimes, but I know how to deal with you. I'll deal with you. So just walk the talk, Honorable Speaker. You're welcome, and let's go. But we'll also write to you to request that we can come back here and work. It's safe. Our legislature is big. Without these visitors, we can sit and work properly. These visual things must come to an end. And just bring your house into order, the administrative side. Because the issue of the letter is true. It should have been communicated to us that the speaker and the deputy speaker reside. There's nothing wrong with that. So that we know as members of parliament and so forth. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sidibe. We'll now call the African National Congress, which is the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Comrade Honorable Fidel Mlombo.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Let us greet you, Honorable Speaker, new from the box. Let us recognize and greet the Honorable Premier of the Mpumalanga Province, the Honorable Judge President of the Mpumalanga Division, Judge President Likhodi, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, also new from the box, Honorable J.J. Skosana, the members of the executive, the members of the provincial legislature, and our guests that are assembled here today. Honorable Speaker, this day will go in the books of history as one of the most important and historic days in the history of this beautiful province of Mpumalanga. It will be recorded, Honorable Speaker, as the day in which the members of this provincial legislature braved the impact of the COVID-19 and assembled here in the chamber to sort of comply and conform to their political obligation. The people of Mpumalanga, millions of them, and the people of this country, they have been adversely and negatively affected by the COVID-19 in terms of job losses, and millions of them have in fact perished across the world. The more than 5 million people of Mpumalanga, they are looking upon this leadership to sort of respond to their challenges, to sort of assist them to recover from the impact of COVID-19, to sort of comfort them from the pain that they have suffered as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. And it is only this leadership that will be able to bring hope to the people of Mpumalanga by ensuring that we live to our mandate, that one of changing the lives of the people to be better and delivering better service to our people. We hope, Honorable Speaker, that yourselves and the Deputy Speaker, respectively as elected, you will lead the provincial legislature to ensure that it becomes a very progressive legislature, an activist legislature, a legislature that is striving towards the achievement of a developmental state, a state that will intervene directly to change the lives of the people of Mpumalanga to be better. The ANC has got a lot of confidence in you. That is why we have elected you without doubt to be the Speaker of the provincial legislature. The ANC has a lot of confidence to the Deputy Speaker. That is why we have elected him without doubt to be the Deputy Speaker. We are looking upon you to lead this provincial legislature with integrity, with honesty, and with the aim of ensuring that we are, in fact, a caring state. We therefore want to take this opportunity, having said that, want to take this opportunity to congratulate you in your election as the Speaker of this provincial legislature, and also to congratulate Honorable J.J. Skosana as having been elected as the Deputy Speaker of this provincial legislature, and thank the Honorable Judge, and thank everyone who is here, especially the honorable members, for having taken their time to come and ensure that we comply and conform to our constitutional obligation, and thank our guests that are here. Thank you very much. We thank you. Congratulations and congratulations.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. That concludes the business of the day. Honorable members and guests are requested to remain at their places until the procession has left the chamber. The procession will leave the house in the following order: the Sergeant at Arms, the Speaker, the Judge President, the Acting Secretary to the Legislature. The House is adjourned until Friday, the 5th of March 2021 at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we call the shots. We call all of you. All right. She's on board.